When we gaze south at the moment, the sky appears to be full of bright stars. These are the stars of Orion, but probably one of the oldest constellations in the night sky sits just above him. Now this constellation is easily found by tracing the three stars of Orion's belt, and by drawing a line through them and extending that line upwards, we enter the V shape here. The V shape is known as the Hyades, and it represents Taurus, the bull's face. Now Taurus is an ancient constellation, probably one of the oldest that we see, but it's also the realm of the Maidens. The 1st century AD Roman poet Marcus Manlius called Taurus rich with maidens, and that it certainly is. The face itself, or the V-shaped group of stars, is called the Hyades. The ancients knew the cluster as the rainy stars because their rising heralded the beginning of autumn and the onset of the rainy season. According to Greek mythology, the Hyades were the sisters of Hyas, a great hunter whose death they mourned. These nymphs were chosen by Zeus to care for his child, Dionysus, when the infant's mother, Semele, was killed by the ever-jealous Hera. Zeus placed the nymphs in the sky in gratitude for their service and pity for their grief, and there they continued to weep for their brother. Even in ancient China, the stars were associated with wet weather. Taurus' better known group of maidens is the Pleiades, or Seven Sisters, a small but very noticeable cluster of stars on the bull's shoulder, just here. These were called the sailing stars, for early Greek seamen would set sail only when they were visible. At other times, storms were too likely. On a clear, dark night, a person with excellent eyesight can resolve 6 individual stars here, although thousands of years ago, 7 were likely visible. With less than perfect eyesight or under imperfect conditions, the Pleiades appear blurry. If you look slightly away from them instead of directly at them, they may seem brighter. Tennyson wrote of them, "Many a night I saw the Pleiades rising through the mellow shade, glitter like a swarm of fireflies, tangled in a silver braid." In Greek mythology, the Pleiades were the 7 daughters of Atlas and Pleione, who are themselves represented by the stars in the cluster, and the half-sisters of the Hyades. The sisters Alcyone, Merope, Selene, Asterope, Electra, Tigrit, and Maia, pursued by an adoring Orion, begged the help of the god Zeus. He heard their plea and turned them first into pigeons and then into stars in the sky. The Greeks, like modern observers, saw only 6 stars in the sky and offered 2 tales to explain the invisibility of the 7th, the so-called lost Pleiad. One story says that Merope hides her light in the shame because she alone of the sisters married a mortal. Another claims that Electra left her position in the sky to avoid witnessing the defeat of Troy, which was founded by her son Dardanus. According to Polynesian mythology, the Pleiades were once a single star, by far the brightest in the sky. This star boasted so much of its beauty, however, that one day the god Tain picked up the bright star Aldebaran and hurled it, smashing the beautiful star into the fainter fragments we now see as the Pleiades. The Japanese also see these stars as 7 bright objects, and they call them today Subaru. Now, Subaru is in fact a turtle, and when we look closely at the cluster, we can see the shape of a turtle shell with the head of the turtle pointing out. So this cluster is a particularly nice one to observe. And it's also one to know and learn the location of, because during November we get the South Taurid meteor shower radiating from this particular area, which produces around 15 meteors per hour. So I hope you go and enjoy this wonderful part of the sky, and wish you clear skies and good observing.